I am almost 24 years old and I feel like I'm behind in life. To clarify, I turn 24 in April, so in about 2 months, but it also still stands. I don't know. I blame it all on social media. If I wasn't constantly, because like I'll just be like browsing and scrolling, and I'll see somebody else my age or maybe a couple years younger or older than me, and they're like living the dream, right? They got the money, they got the car, they got the house. And I look at my life and I'm like, what the frick am I doing? What are they doing that I'm not doing? I kind of blame it entirely on social media. It is 110% social media's fault that not only me, but a lot of you guys, well, a lot of us rather, also feel like this. Social media nowadays is such a very toxic place. And it didn't used to be like that, but unfortunately now it is. You see a lot of influencers and stuff online telling you like, if you're not doing this, you're stupid. You know, if you're 20 years if you're if you're 20 years old and you're not doing this, you're wasting your life. If you're not making six figures by the age of 21, you are just plain dumb. You know, that kind of stuff. I don't know. When that kind of stuff just gets like shoved down your throat, it makes you just feel so behind. I think a lot of it has to do with me being behind, and many others is how freaking absurdly expensive everything is. Hello, how you doing? I'll give you an example. I'm almost 24 and I'm still at my parents' house. Again, that kind of rolls back into the things like, you know, you're 20 years old and you're not this, you're not that, blah, blah, blah. But dog, like, you think I don't want to have my own place or buy my own house? Brother, that mess is absurdly expensive. If rent was like $500, you know, a month, I would probably have an apartment right now. You know, $500 or $600, I can probably do that. But dude, I live in a small town. Rent is $1,000 for not that good of an apartment. $1,000 a month. God forbid if I drive an hour and a half to a big city, dude, rent is over between a good apartment, not a rundown piece of garbage. A good apartment is between $1,500 and $2,000. I can't afford that. Are we serious right now, brother? No. And God forbid a house. For a decent house, a decent house is like between $150,000 and $200,000. That is insanity. And God forbid if you want a nice house, that is upwards of 300 plus, 300 to 500K plus. I guess it also kind of depends on where you live, but in general, the housing market is still just garbage at the moment. I'll give you an example. My parents own a 2-story brick home that they bought for $98,000 in, I think, 1999, if I remember correctly. Their house now is valued over $300,000. That is absurd. Which you know reels back into me feeling like I'm behind in life. Cause like, I mean, I'm almost 24 years old. I'm almost in my mid 20s, and I don't have a home yet. And trust me, I'm working, I'm trying, I'm saving up every bit I can. But it's like it's like the things of everything keeps going up and my wages do not. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've got my own car. I've got that. I've got a car payment, whatever. I don't know, man. I feel like I should have done more with my life at this current moment. I feel like I should have already made my dreams come true. I feel like I should have experienced more in my life, but I haven't yet. And a lot of that's got to do with money, if I'm being completely honest with you. Just simply not having enough money or living paycheck to paycheck, which is what I kind of do, honestly. I really think the main issue is seeing so many successful people like my age, like younger than me, like 20, 21, 19 years old, being so successful. And then I'm just like, what the frick? What am I doing? How are they making six figures at 20 years old and I'm making like $1,200 every 2 weeks? You know, I've got a plan though. See, I'm in debt, not really by a lot. I mean, I've got maybe around 14,000 altogether. That includes Well, I still owe my car, my open-end loan, and my credit card. Roughly about $14,000, give or take. My plan is to be debt-free by the end of this year, by the end of 2026. And by the end of 2027, hopefully, I will be able to have enough for a down payment for a house. Hopefully by then, homes will go down. I think my issue is I just don't have a home. I don't have my own place yet. I think that really is what my main issue is. I don't know. I just feel like I should have it all figured out, which I guess isn't true. I don't know. I've got to remember I'm still young. My life really is still just starting, even though I'm almost 24. My life, I mean, you know, I was only 18 just a few years ago. You know, I'm still starting out in life. I gotta teach my brain, just because somebody is, you know, extremely successful compared to me, that doesn't mean that I am behind in life. This also kind of reels back to my previous video about, you know, comparing yourself to others. Yeah, I've just got to learn to not do that with me. With my brain. I've got to learn that just because someone else is farther ahead of me doesn't mean I'm behind, which again is a very hard thing to kind of grasp, because like I said, you know, the whole comparing yourself, blah 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 blah. If you're out there watching, wherever you are, or if anybody watches this at all, if you're out there and you're like me and you feel like you're also behind in life, chances are you're probably not. You know, you're probably not. I think we're all okay. Gen Z, our lives are really just starting. Like we've barely touched, you know, the brink of whatever the world has in store for us, whatever life has in store for us. So we really don't know what in the world's, you know, what's going to happen. I guess it's also a bit of a thing where it's like, if you also feel behind, if you also feel behind in life, you can, you know, you have the power to change that, which is exactly what I'm doing, to be honest with you. Maybe I'm not as behind as I thought I was. It's just, I don't know. I really thought I would have my own place by now, have everything figured out, know what I'm doing, know what I'm going to do with my life. Which, I mean, I know what I want to do with my life. I want to do content creation. That's what I want to do. But unfortunately for me, that's a very slow burning thing, you know? It also doesn't help that, like, you know, COVID happened in 2020, right when I graduated and turned 18, and everything in the world literally changed. That also didn't help either. I swear, 2020 was when everything shifted in the world. And I know that sounds like, you know, weird or whatever, but like, think about it. Like, everything is sky high now because of everything that happened with the COVID. Maybe not everything, but like COVID had a lot to do with it. Like, cars are ridiculously expensive, dude. I want a truck again. Okay, I lost my truck in 2023, and brother, them suckers are like 80 to 100K, bro. Nah, man. I don't know. I've been rambling about dumb stuff for the past 20 minutes. Yeah, if you're behind, don't worry about it, man. We, or man or gal, we're just starting out. We really are just starting out. We got our whole lives ahead of us to figure out what we're doing. I don't know about y'all, but I'm gonna take control of my life. Thank y'all so much for watching these little videos of mine of me ranting. I appreciate each and every one of you that click on this video. All of you are awesome. I love you guys, and I hope you guys have a blessed day, a great rest of your day, night, wherever you are. And thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. You guys have a good one. Goodbye, everybody. I'm out.